And all of a sudden, I realized there were different parties with different views and opinions. It became so difficult to know who was actually for the organization or that was against the organization. And they would come with fear. So it's like fear bombarding one's mind, and you have to take a decision. Hi, Phoebe here. Today I'd like to share those times in the corporate world that we need to take difficult decisions. But you see, we all want to be at the good side of everybody, that whatever God is prompting us to do, we do not want to do it. I remember a time that we were meant to instruct a vendor about a particular service for the company. And I already knew that we wanted to not only maximize the opportunities we had. We needed to reduce the costs for getting that service done. And all of a sudden, I realized there were different parties with different views and opinions. It became so difficult to know who was actually for the organization or that was against the organization. And they would come with fear. So it's like fear bombarding one's mind, and you have to take a decision. And so what happened? That night I went home and I just prayed a simple prayer and I said, Lord, help me to take the right decision. I don't want to find myself supporting the wrong decision, either at the boardroom or during management meetings. It was a simple prayer and that was it. And I woke up knowing in my spirit that I should support a particular team. But what happened later that day, the other parties, about two of them, were speaking so much fear. Now, if you were the one, how do you hear God at such a time? How are you convinced that at that point it's not your flesh that is speaking, it is God? These things will require constant trainings. What has the Lord spoken to you before? How did you hear Him? What did you do to cultivate that relationship that would cause you to be hearing the God every second of the day? Because God is always speaking. We are the ones not always listening or hearing Him. So I went back to work the next day, and the tug of war still continued, the banters, and this one kept saying reasons why it should not go to the other person, this one too. But like a flash, I just knew who was right and who was wrong. And I was able to take that decision. In fact, I remember saying one of the fear for those that were speaking against that service was that the management was going to lose money. The company was going to lose so much money and it cannot be recovered. But I heard it quietly in my spirit, the Lord saying no. And I actually saw it. The reason why the person was conversing for that kind of decision. If you do not pray as a child of God, you will embrace a serpent and call him a friend. Most of us believers in the boardrooms or in the marketplace need to spend more time in prayers so that God would breathe upon us. You will find out that you are aligned to the will and the counsel of God on every single matter, and you will know what the Lord is saying at every point in time. So today I encourage you, just as I am able to take a good decision, a corporate decision, because I was in the marketplace, but I heard God. That is what my desire for every one of us should be, such that as they are taking that decision at the board meeting, you know by the Spirit which one the Lord is saying. You know by the Spirit the one the Lord is trying to warn you against, and you will not be part of those that append your signature. So today, please be strong. Where we need to take a proper decision, corporate decision, let us do so, knowing that we are first accountable to God before we are accountable to men. God bless you. Hi everyone, my name is Phoebe, and I'm the convener of Marketplace Vessels Conference biannual event. Before the recently concluded conference, the Lord has been nudging me to share my stories. And I believe as someone that has spent over 20 years in the corporate circle, we have stories that you can resonate with. I have stories. And I believe that as I share the stories, that you would recognize the things the Lord would have you do, either as a corporate person, a professional, an entrepreneur, or a leader. I believe that the Lord would speak to your heart, the things that you need to do in this season. I'll title this next set of series as a Chronicles of my journey in the workplace.